Well, hello! Once again, you have found a Texas Steampunk Connection, broadcasting to you throughout the multiverse Steamverse from our various bunkers and airships. With me, as always, is Thax, Gentleman Adventurer.
Hello, hello.
With me is Jack from Steam Chest.
Hello.
And we have with us today Master Blue Stocking from Steampunk Dollhouse podcast. So once again, we are here to talk, probably about steampunk, most likely, because that's what this is about. Thank you for listening to the Texas Steampunk Connection.
So that's my first time seeing that, and that is so cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
You haven't been on the show since Flavio passed away last year.
Yeah.
So that's what we do now. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I know we've already got Mick and Rita following us on Facebook. You may have noticed that Blue Stocking is not able to join us tonight. We've talked with her many times about her PhD study that she's been doing and all the work and books she's had to read and report on. I don't even know what all. But she's finally coming up to the end, and her time is very full right now. So she couldn't make it tonight. She is finishing her evening class, and she is falling asleep, and that's all she's got. So she's still around, but not able to make it tonight.
We got a sleepy Blue Stocking.
You may have also noticed,
funny in my head,
if you're a regular watcher of the program, we were not here 2 weeks ago, and that is a fun story too. Because I posted a meme that is common across the internet, but the Facebook computers didn't like it and immediately nipped that in the bud, made it unviewable and put me in Facebook jail and asked me if I was having suicidal thoughts. Which I wasn't till then. And so we weren't able to stream last 2 weeks ago because I got in trouble. It associated me with this program for some reason, and we weren't able to convince it otherwise. Yeah.
Yes, the robot thought you were in danger.
So there's that.
So it bans you because you're in danger.
I'm in danger.
You know, if I'm in danger, that's none of your business. You're a stupid computer.
No one asked you. If I want to talk about the geopolitical issues of oil, I will. That's my own danger.
So, I don't know. Let's get this party started. Anybody drinking anything tonight?
No.
Sweet tea.
I mean, it's in the other room. Ooh, sweet tea.
Oh yes, Jack had to sneak into his secret hideout earlier, and left his drink behind. That's
yeah. I'm about to go dive out for it in just a second.
Sweet tea, however, that's important. It's a Texas staple. And I feel like people in other states don't understand sweet tea. Any restaurant that says, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have sweet tea, but we have iced tea and you can add sugar to it," doesn't know what sweet tea is.
Or it's raspberry. Like you say sweet tea and they bring you raspberry tea. And I'm like, no.
I mean, I feel like raspberry tea could be Texas sweet tea. It's probably not.
No, it's not the same. It does I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not the same.
I know how to explain it. At least okay. I have an opinion.
Okay.
For those who are not in Texas, or who are new to living here, maybe this is how you make sweet tea. You make tea, like boiling in a pot, and you add sugar to the tea while it's hot.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll be back.
Continue to add sugar to the tea until it no longer will hold sugar in the water. What scientists call a supersaturated solution. And then you put ice in it and ice it down to ice cold. But the sugar is still saturated in that water. So you can't just add sugar to cold water. It will never get as sweet as Texas sweet tea.
Really? Is that the process?
It is.
So Weatherford has an entire like little restaurant hut dedicated to nothing but tea. It's called HTO. It's my favorite place in the whole world. So
Do they have Texas sweet tea?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay.
That's all I get is the regular sweet tea because they've got a whole bunch, but the regular sweet is definitely Texas sweet tea. So yeah.
So I would generally assume that a proper tea shop wouldn't have anything close to Texas sweet tea. So that's interesting.
Well, it's not really a tea shop like you would think. It's just
Really
like
not.
a fast food restaurant for tea.
Jax, sorry. Go on.
Did you leave the hideout? He can't hear me. Okay. Yes, he
okay.
can hear me.
Well, sweet tea is awesome, and I applaud you.
Thank you. I had to put a handkerchief on my mug because it's too cold.
Yeah, those pewter like Ren Fair mugs.
Yep.
They are they're cool looking, but they suck the cold right out of your drink and
So,
stick it into your hand.
If you put the ice in first, and you let it sit there, it gets it cold, and then you throw that ice out and you get new ice with the drink, and it's fine.
But
Okay.
you still need a mitten to hold on to it.
Yeah.
On it. I just put a handkerchief on it, and it's probably going to stay there for the rest of season. So
Speaking of wonderful drink holders, this is actually a great one, and it's one that has a buffalo on it. I picked it up at Walmart. It's double insulated, and it keeps your coffee hot for like 6 hours.
is it an Arctic?
It might be Arctic. It doesn't. Let's see here.
Look at the lid.
No, it's Silver Buffalo.
Oh, okay. Because
So it's an off-brand. It's an off-brand Arctic, essentially, or off-brand. It's the technology. And so I don't know. I love this one for like $10. I get the equivalent of what a $30 cup does. And yeah. Well, today, because I found it on sale now that they're actually selling it, not just at the service station near me, but actually at HEB. We have Yinling lager in larger amount now.
Yeah,
So
now that
instead
they're
of-
importing that, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I'm happy. It tastes good. It's just a good, decent beer. It's not overly exciting, but it's one of those things that I can think about a long, hard day of claims adjusting for people. Well, not actually me doing the claims adjusting, but me just taking calls and getting them to the claim people. It's just nice. It's been a long day. We don't need any more tornadoes. Quit that crap.
Oh, so you were dealing. Oh no, you were dealing with the Austin area.
I am on the east side. I was between two tornadoes that went like this, and one was about half a mile from my house. And my friend's house, which I was helping clear up today, completely looked like you just tore it open with a can opener and laid it out like this, miffed it up, and then dropped it on a rock and broke the floor. So everything was like this. Yeah. Fun.
So my work has another office in Jacksboro.
Uh-huh.
And so my boss lives in Jacksboro and was in her car in the tornado. Their high school gymnasium looks like it's a can of tuna just like ripped off the top of the roof. Pretty bad. So.
Yeah. Not fun.
Yeah, but everyone's safe. My boss is fine. She's great. Her 2 kids are fine.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
No one wants their boss to die in a tornado.
Yes.
It just makes things awkward at the workshop.
I need to stop real quick. And
Okay.
I did not introduce Madeline Savage, who was with us tonight. I halfway did. I was explaining why Blue Stocking wasn't here, and then I got distracted.
It's okay.
Like 45 minutes before the show, we got notice that she wasn't going to make it. I'm like, Natalie, can you be on our show real quick? Like, okay. You're awesome. Thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure to have you.
The sheriff at Steampunk November, is that who you are?
Yes. Yes and no. Technically, Kenneth is the sheriff. I'm just the deputy, I guess. I don't know, but
You're the one that makes everything work. He
Yeah.
just runs around holding the star. You're the guy who runs around making everything work.
You're the one who doesn't get shot.
Do the thing!
I'm the one that doesn't get shot.
Now I know who to shoot. That's yeah. This is fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So what am I drinking tonight?
So while he's doing that, while we were, I'm sorry to bug you, Thax, but
go ahead.
I know you're not. What is the name of your association? We always want to cover that. And
Mine?
Yeah.
We are the Airship Goliad, the Rangers of the Sky.
There we go.
Because that's what we are out at Steampunk November. We just go by Airship Goliad. I throw people in jail for $1 a minute, take their picture, make a big scene.
Hang people's wanted posters.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Love
guys
it.
had a lot of fun over there.
Yeah.
Getting locked up was one of the highlights of the last Steampunk November I went to.
We'll have to get you locked up next time. All right. Now let's move on. I apologize. I had to.
Okay. So Ukraine has been in the news a lot lately,
Yes.
and we'll probably talk more about that. But Erica, my wife, happened across this Ukrainian drink called horilka, which basically is a Ukrainian word for effectively vodka
Okay.
or other strong spirit.
Oh.
But in the YouTube video that Erica was watching, they talked about this one that's made with honey and chili peppers. That looking at Wikipedia, Ukrainians called pertsivka. And of course, I wanted to have some of this, so I went down to Wine and More, and they
Lo and behold.
they have a few. This is the one that I most easily found on my way home.
Wow. How much of that did you drink before you got it home?
It turns out my wife really likes this.
Oh. What does it
that's
taste
what
like?
I am having a shot of tonight. It's 80 proof, so it's straight up vodka.
Uh-huh.
And there is it's hard to see because it's ice cold, but there's a chip that you can't see it.
What's it?
But it's been soaking in there. It used to be red. Now it is a pale white because it has been bleached out by the liquor. And yeah, you're supposed to keep it, ice cold so it's in the freezer.
Yep.
And that is what I'm trying tonight. So yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm reminded of anytime Flavio was given any kind of hard liquor, all he would say is, "It tastes like burning." And this does.
Yes.
Not only is it 80 proof vodka, but it's also got that pepper flavor in it.
Oh.
It's nice. It's not gonna make you cry, but it's a little burning in the throat there.
Some of the
My dad calls that type of alcohol cough syrup.
so
And then coming out of the freezer, it has the consistency of cough syrup.
but that's like when you get really good vodka and you drink it and you don't taste it until it hits the bottom of your stomach and all you feel is just cold, and then it just blooms warmth upwards as like you like oh, I swallowed something I shouldn't have and I'm going critical and from the inside out. and then you just feel so warm and fuzzy, and like, oh no, this is good. That's good vodka. It's hard to find good vodka that like that without it being like exceedingly triple distilled and expensive.
Yeah, so this one is not good vodka, technically.
Oh, okay.
It was a sort of plastically chemical flavor, and I did not pay a whole lot for it.
Oh, yeah.
When I go back, when this bottle is empty soon, I will be looking for maybe a higher grade Borilka to replace with. But the pepper was fun.
So it has a pepper bird cherry in it, right? Is that what you were saying?
It's a long, narrow chile.
Oh, chili. Okay.
When I first saw it, I was like, "Is that a worm?"
Vodka worms? Is that a thing?
I don't think it's a thing, but you know.
I mean, eating the tequila worm is apparently one of those delicacies that you will try. You should at least have once in your life. I don't know if you ever want it more than once.
Eating the worm in the bottle of tequila?
Yeah.
No. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
It does sound like a terrible thing.
Do you know why they put the worm in there?
You know, it's been so long. No, I don't remember. Go for it. Let's do it. Story time with Thax.
Tell me which brand of tequila does this?
So it's not really tequila. It's mezcal.
Okay.
In Mexico, it's a lot like tequila, but it is made with funky water with lots of heavy metals in it and stuff that you should not drink because it can make you go blind.
This is a don't drink the water incident?
Right. So they drop the worm in, a live worm in, and all those heavy metals and toxins will seep into the worm. So you won't have to drink them.
Oh.
It's like a filter. So when you eat the worm, you're eating the filter with all the crap in it that you weren't supposed to eat all at once.
So there was a really funny comic way back when I was in college. And apparently the guy just read the book Dune and then had tequila for the first time. And he blended the two together. And it was like the waters of life, the sleeper must awaken. And then like the character drank it. And then the next day was like just puking himself dead in the toilet. But I don't know, the whole worm thing I guess is in there somewhere. That's why. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Well,
I don't like tequila, so I'm definitely not gonna like tequila adjacent. So,
but do you like margaritas?
No, actually, I
really?
don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
No.
I'm assuming you like rum though. Rum's a good way. So daiquiris are your thing.
Yes.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Or just rum thrown into Sprite, because
rum and Sprite is fantastic. I did that in college a lot. Actually, rum in not club soda. What the hell? No, the one that puts your stomach to ease.
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale is fantastic. Rum and ginger ale go really well together. I drank a lot of that. Probably too much of that while playing EVE Online through college. I had to get my pirate on.
Right.
Yeah.
The very dangerous mix is vodka and Mountain Dew. Just to let you know.
Oh yes.
You cannot taste the flavor. And so you're hyped up on Mountain Dew and drunk at the same time. So
the terrible one that was going through my college at the time was let's do Red Bull and vodka.
We went to the same college, Jack.
That's right. I keep forgetting. It's because we didn't go right at the same time. You weren't my friend then.
Right.
We would have had too much fun in the computer labs.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm being told by Lex that Red Bull and bubblegum vodka is...
It's like you're chewing on carbonated bubblegum.
It's like you're chewing on carbonated bubblegum.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Why not? I like this idea. Just add some Prop Rocks and it can be really funky.
There's no need. It doesn't actually make an effect.
It doesn't make an effect? Oh. Okay, well, that's already been tested, and I've been told it was a bad idea.
Oh no.
We're getting into weird stuff over here.
Oh, this is us breaking out of jail, Facebook jail,
Yay! Talk
with
about
the
how-
deputy.
Yep.
We shot the sheriff. Oh, unhinged, unbridled.
So since we
Unjailed.
missed out last episode, a lot of things have happened.
Yes, because we
since
didn't actually
our
get to
last
go over what we
actual
wanted
show.
to in the last episode.
Mardi Gras happened.
Yep.
Alcon happened.
Alcon happened. Ukraine's being invaded.
Yep.
Still being invaded. You know, I thought this would burn out pretty quickly, and it's been a month now.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the Russian military is kind of stuck. They can't back out right now.
They can stop driving in.
They
I don't know.
really not pushing much more else in right now. They're just kind of stuck. Yeah, no, that was fun.
Irish
so-
Fest happened, or St. Patrick's Day, if
Right.
you prefer.
Mm-hmm. So how was Alcon? Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. It was a lot of fun. I've never been to Alcon before. It's
I
a
love Alcon.
it's a small convention compared to like Acon,
Mhm.
and it was described to me as mature con, which I would back that because nobody acted like idiots.
Yeah. I love that con because it's just big enough. And the fact is I'm usually one of the only other steampunks in the group that is doing, well, usually all of us are doing panels. So it's like everybody has all their tables in one area and we're all doing panels in the same room. And it's just us all rotating in and out doing panels.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that is today. How was it post-COVID?
So there was like a tiny steampunk convention in their own separate room.
Room M?
No, it was the Blue Bonnet room.
Oh, we had the Blue Bonnet room this year.
Yeah.
We're moving up in the world.
And no, it was really cool. I wasn't really around for many panels. I was only there on Saturday.
Gotcha.
I was there for the tea dueling, and that was a lot of fun. Watching people who have never experienced tea dueling try their hand at it.
Best story about Alcon tea dueling I have. So
Okay.
So
We
before
had-
you start, explain what tea dueling is for those of us who haven't done this.
since you have just recently done it, go
Okay.
for it.
So, tea dueling is where two opponents sit across from each other with their cups of tea, and they have a shortbread cookie, and they get to dunk their shortbread cookie in the tea for like 5 to 10 seconds. And then they pull their shortbread cookie out, and they stare at each other and try to make the other cookie break. And then they try to eat the cookie, and whoever cookie crumbles first loses.
And there is a lot of mad smack talking sometimes that goes on while you're holding that cookie up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just trying to get everybody. And if that cookie's holding, they got some really good ideas because they've had some cookies that they didn't realize were going to be as good at holding up that were glazed on one side with sugar. And so they make you get up and do like the I'm a little teapot dance while trying to hold this cookie to keep it from falling apart.
So that didn't happen this year. They
Okay.
found cookies that didn't have the sugar coating.
Oh,
But they had like designs on them, and there were certain designs that were holding up better than the other ones.
it's amazing the strategy of choosing the right cookie on that plate because they put only so many on there and you get to like choose your weapon kind of deal.
Right.
So the idea is the last person to successfully eat the cookie wins,
Yes.
Yes.
right? So you're not going to be the one to eat the cookie
The
first.
strategy is you can eat the cookie first if you think the other guy has waited. It's almost like a weird game of chicken when you're playing with these cookies because you're watching the soak layer happen on this cookie
Yeah.
and you're like staring down the other person past your own cookie where like the camera focus changes on the other person back to your cookie, back to them as you're trying to like figure out when is the strategic time to eat this cookie where you can get it to your mouth before it falls all over your face, or wait just long enough to do it so that when they go for it, it just falls apart in their face. It's a completely interesting and scary and wonderful, stupid sport that I want to see on TV because the camera angles would be hilarious.
So,
And you can lose and still have respect.
Oh yeah.
If a cookie falls all over you, you've lost all respect. You're just a mess.
right. So if you ever see people with like teacups in holsters, that is specifically for tea dueling. I mean, Natalie has one. I have one. Yes, I do. So yeah, that's specifically for tea dueling. And somebody had one, and nobody else had come across with a tea dueling like set, and so they brought their own cup. And Scott was like, "Oh no, we've got a saucer."
Oh, I love Scott.
It then became the magic saucer, and that person like let people borrow her saucer.
Come have the saucer. Yeah, because he uses a lot of just like whatever he finds for like almost free at just kind of like Goodwill places and whatnot. Because you can buy a whole bunch of them. You don't care if they get broken at this case.
Well,
And
and
some people are allowed to take their teacup with them.
Well, I think they were using paper cups.
Oh, they're using paper cups this time. All right, so he
yeah.
hasn't carried the crate of teacups anymore.
Correct.
Okay.
But we now have a North Texas Tea Scouts where they just do tea related stuff, and they're looking for like he showed us this Amazon listing that is like paper teacups.
Let's try one and then two.
Like disposable teacups. And I'm like, where were these?
Yeah, like this is the time for them all of a sudden.
Right? Rita, you can totally join the Tea Scouts. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, I
I kind of want to look at these people too. Let's join the Tea Scouts. I want to get like merit badges and stuff. That's that kind of scouts, Jack. What?
Alcon was a lot of fun. I was a character in the LARP that Mad Raven ran. And I played the Leprechaun Princess. I was not Natalie. RJ Lundgren was the Leprechaun King. I had never met RJ before, but he's a delight and he's awesome.
He really is.
Yeah. So
that is the one thing I really did enjoy. We all enjoyed doing as the LARPs at that convention, and like we even got to teach my son how to pick pockets. It was fantastic.
Great.
He was really good at it. We have to put that back into work. No, I'm joking.
That's something you should be teaching your children, but not my kid.
Well, we had a whole bunch of fake money or like coal credits kind of thing, you know, enough to actually buy out my reward for sure. And so we had to, everyone was doing like, I can't remember, it was a casino thing at the time. So we just had Cody running around just like pulling it out of people's pockets because it was very ridiculously large bills. So it looked like cartoonish.
They're huge.
And so it's really easy to keep them like in your pocket, but have them like poking out. So you just go by and grab them and hide them. And he had like a little like vest. And so you like stick them and he like back over to us. It was a gambling event as a museum. That's right. And it's so much fun.
Yeah, it was the Leprechaun King's 6,000th birthday. And since the leprechauns had been asleep through the entire war in the multiverse, we just woke up and we're meeting new people and making new friends. And there was a plot to kill the king. And Jesse and Nick thought I was behind the plot, when in really the person who played his guard was behind the plot. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have been like target numero uno on that one. Like, oh, Jack, he's gonna do it. And I'm like, I am only here for the money. And the drinks are free, right?
If Natalie had been a character, definitely, but Natalie wasn't a character, so
Well, that sounds like fun.
yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. What else did we do?
That's one thing I think you would enjoy, Thax, is that the LARPing. It's not like it's deep, like throw the dice. It's very much just you play your character and you have things like you have a list of objectives you have to do.
Yeah.
And so you can walk into it going, you're a baron, and your job here is to pay off somebody to get that guy killed, or do a backwater dealing behind closed doors or something, and you just get to act all whatever you want and try to get your objectives cleared by the end of the game.
I've come from a very structured rules based kind of LARP, and so it's felt very awkward to sort of step into this sort of free form, no rules environment.
There's rules. You
there are
just
rules.
don't know the rules. But Colonel Fisk will tell you the rules if you break them. So
Boy, will he.
So yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. The girl who played the Dark Fae Princess was probably my favorite because she did so well and stole everyone's name. Everyone's.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Was that played by Jesse?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't know the girl who played.
I'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ask Jessie. I think she knows her.
Okay.
So.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. I missed cons. I miss conventions so much. Like.
Yeah, I went back and accidentally ran across my YouTube channel for Steam Chest, and I found my little 2-minute preview, and it was actually one of our LARPs we were doing, and it was just like the extension of the LARP between LARP sessions. We're like, let's make a movie, and it first started off with we have a friend who's like, you know what, I can do vignettes and give you guys magic and stuff. I'm like, cool, we're gonna do that, and then it turned into, let's do a scene over here. Let's do this whole prequel to the LARP, and then expose after the LARP. And I just boiled it down into a 3 to 4 minute movie of whatever. I had 15 different cell phones, and I didn't get all the data, and I couldn't do all the cuts I wanted to do, and some of the audio was terrible. And so I had anyway, it was fun figuring it all out, but it was a mess. It was 10 hours of let's do a movie out of nowhere with no clue what we're doing. And but I found it always fun, and that was actually done there at that convention. So a lot of the shots are the same hallways and whatnot. We were trying to figure out ways to make it look like an abandoned crashing ship in the middle of an ether void. I don't know. It was fun. A lot of fun.
I'm ready for November to get here because progress is being made.
Yes. Got a work weekend coming up for Steampunk. Yeah.
Mostly demolition. That's this weekend.
What are we blowing up?
So we can't really blow up anything because burn bans, but we can smash things and break things. So
okay.
Yeah. And I know we're breaking apart most of the tables and all of the little chairs because they're so withered from the weather. I don't know the condition of my jail. I should probably figure that out.
Right. Get down.
Maybe, unless you want to make it easy for me to get broken out of.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
One of those things of I have the whole team of horses get lined up with chains on one side of the thing that all of a sudden I just lean too hard on it. It goes clink.
Oops. You might not even have to do that. The back half is just wood pallets. You probably could just push it over. But don't tell Andrew that.
Nope. Oh, hi, puppy.
But yeah, no, I'm excited because.
Good. So far, they're expecting to be going on this year.
Correct. As of now, yeah. As of now, it's going as usual.
You're hearing it here first. Well, maybe not first, but you're hearing it here first for the first time.
Right. So,
Perfect.
Jack, did you have homework?
I mean, I did have homework. Did I do it? Probably no.
Okay.
However, I have a rousing story of how I played. I guess not horribly rousing now that we've explained Dueling, but I've actually dueled someone who of greater stature than myself when it comes to pop culture references. It was the man who voiced Admiral Akbar, because he's British, and he walks into this Dueling thing. He's like, "I saw it, and I'm British, and I've never heard of what this Dueling is. I must do this." And so I got to duel Admiral Akbar, and he had the grandest old time. He's like a guy in his 60s, and he was just like, "I'm at a convention. People are paying me here to be here to talk like a fish, like I did back in the 80s." Joke's on him that only in a couple more years he'd be doing it again.
right. It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's perfectly safe.
That was a great role.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a great role.
Okay. Well, I
Okay,
thought
what did you do?
this opportunity to talk about my favorite topic, thrifting, which we got to talk about like a month ago, and I thought I'd give it another shot. Tonight, I'd like to talk about specifically men's shirts.
I wear those.
I thought you might.
I wear those sometimes because I can't find women's.
See, I have the opposite problem.
So I thought I might, throw out a few things to think about in shopping and thrift shopping for your steampunk costume, looking for a men's shirt or a male gendered, however you want to do the new gender thing. I don't know how to describe it anymore, but what was once considered a men's shirt. Okay. So men's fashion hasn't really changed a whole lot in 100 years.
No, it is.
130 years, roughly, now.
Yep.
Which makes things, which you would think would make things very easy. But
You know what's changed in 100 years of men's shirts? The freaking polo. That is a terrible decision.
that's true. But I'm more specifically talking about the long sleeve button down shirt that every man would wear in the late 1800s. Whether rich or poor, that was, the shirt. And so if you go to the thrift store, there's lots and lots of men's shirts to pick from. Most of them are still wrong. And among other reasons I can think of, polyester or a polyester blend, you got to stay away from. Those are terribly uncomfortable. They're checky, or they have some sort of weird print on them that are very, much more modern. They're aged and tired now, but they're not 18th century old. They're just, 1980s ugly. But even then, there's plenty of shirts to pick from. An easy start is just a nice white Oxford shirt. Pretty standard, easy to find. But even this is not ideal because it has a very smooth, very high a very engineered fabric. It doesn't have a lot of texture to it, It's like a sheet. They're very nice. You'd really want to wear one, in the office, but it doesn't have a lot of character. So if you found one that had like a looser weave or some sort of texture to it, I think that's better. Or like a pinstripe, something like this.
I like pinstripe.
is nice. You want to stay away from prints generally, but if you could find a nice stripe, that's good.
Linen style fabric has a really good texture to it.
Yeah.
It's hard to find those in like a collared shirt a lot of the time that are linen, but they have the right texture for like the late 1800s, early 1900s, and they're also a lot cooler if you're going to conventions that are rather warm. And then in the case of Steampunk November, if you're going to that, you can always layer it with like a jacket and things like that. So
Yeah, that was always something. I'm like, I'm gonna wear my cool stuff. And get there, cover it in my jacket. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
But I
linen
like my
linens
jacket.
are great because it gives you the texture. 100% linen is going to be wrinkled all the time,
Oh yeah.
which isn't necessarily bad, but you should be prepared. It's
Yes.
just it's just going to be that way.
Just build your costume around being wrinkled.
like Natalie, she's got dirt all over her face. She's wrinkled all the time. Like,
Yep.
Here's another one I found that fits a little bit better compared to the white one. You can see it's an
off-white one.
It's an off-white, which is I don't know if you can tell that.
Yeah, we can see it just barely.
This is
I can't. But
okay. This is slightly
One's blue and one's black, right?
just slightly, which goes
white back.
Oh, well, yeah.
goes to
Sorry.
the idea that it is worn. That you're it doesn't necessarily get laundered quite so much, that you are living in it. But it also had a collar, and it had a collar with some of those buttons on the edges of the collar, those little button downs. Those are not period.
Mm-mm.
Those I hate those, but they're hard to escape from. Like all the shirts now have something like that, rather than a nice stiff collar.
Yeah, because no one irons or starches anymore.
Right. But the trick is most Victorian shirts didn't have a collar. So you could just cut it off, which I have. And now I have it just has the bottom edge of the collar, which is typical of the time. And then what would happen is you would have a separate piece, a collar that would tuck in to the shirt, and then you'd have a collar for your shirt, and you would just wash that part. So your shirt would last longer because it wouldn't have to be washed as often, which would itself give a lot of wear and tear to a garment, and you would just replace the collars regularly, or not wear one.
So to kind of give an example of what Thax is talking about, if you've ever watched Peter Pan, the cartoon by Disney, Mr. Darling has an attachable collar that he puts on, and he's fighting with Michael about, and then his shirt front that is made into a treasure map is part of the whole collar thing that he's attaching to his shirt at the very beginning of the movie. So that's an example of what Thax is talking about with the detachable collars and shirt fronts. So,
and that was sort of a running joke or a well-used joke in older cartoons when people would get into fights and their collar would get all goofed up. Sure, but if you're playing a character that's maybe middle class or working class, maybe you didn't even care about the collar. You just wore a collar of the shirt. That was pretty common in the Wild West. So you could go that way. And I've never heard of anybody suggesting to cut your collars off. And I think it's pretty perfect for this.
I cut so many collars off at Angelo State University whenever we did any sort of Victorian show. So yeah.
All right. So
I just thought you were going around cutting people's collars off. You'd have to preface it with anything else. I just cut so many collars in college.
Yep.
Just end it.
All the frat boys cut their collars off.
Yep.
My
Oh,
next
all the pop collars. Oh,
get your collars off is weathering your shirt using sanding pads if you really want to like scuff it up, or color black and brown paint.
Or
Water-
run over it with your car.
That's all right.
Or run over it with your car.
that works. Or you throw it in the back windshield of your car for a couple days. That'll
There are a lot of YouTube videos on how to weather costumes, and they do it in different ways. And most of them end up like putting big holes and rents in the garments, and that's not really what I'm going for. It seems like people are looking for more of a post-apocalyptic weathering, and that's sort of a level too high.
Yeah.
But I did find a great video on a channel by a gal named Rachel Maxey. You guys ever seen her? Let
No.
me share this screen, okay?
okay.
Share.
Rita says stain it with tea and coffee. That works really well too.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Go with my normal ritual of just rolling in a big vat of fried chicken use and just getting in that darker grease color.
Oh, I think you're going to get a scent that goes along with that you might not enjoy.
Depends on what you're trying to play as.
Trying to scuff up leather, preferably if it's fake leather, because sometimes. If you treat it with hydrogen peroxide first and kind of let the leather soak in the hydrogen peroxide before you take a like sandpaper to it, it scuffs much easier. I did that with my Negan jacket whenever I cosplayed as Negan. I did that before I rolled it in gravel, but yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It helped.
All right. Let's see.
And then I rolled it in gravel to
So Rachel Maxey has this channel. She does a lot of vintage costume and or vintage clothing and costumes, and she's just really entertaining and super attractive. But she's got this video where she makes a Nick Valentine costume from Fallout 4. And if you're familiar with Fallout 4, Nick Valentine is an old, like 1920s, 30s gumshoe character. I'm not going to play this. And he's got this trench coat and a shirt, but it's in a post-apocalyptic world, so his costume needs to be really sort of stained and funky. And she takes this perfectly good shirt that she got from the thrift store and proceeds to muck it up at the seams. And she just uses a lot of paint.
She's doing a bit of cell shading too, since it is
a bit.
Yeah.
But I really liked the way she, this method that she used, weathers the shirt without actually damaging the shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks, weathered and aged and dirty.
It's giving it almost that cartoon look with some
Yeah.
Not
shading.
actually
to it.
weathered and aged and dirty. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
She's actually making it dirty with paint.
Right.
Yeah, and oddly enough, I don't see anybody else do that.
That wreaks hell on your washing machine, though.
I did that with Gage the Necromancer when I did Gage the Necromancer from Borderlands, because Borderlands is kind of dirty and grungy too. So I did a lot of that with her costume stuff too. So I know how to do that, and it's pretty simple. It's all about the brush strokes. You almost want to have like a dry brush. When you're doing
to just get the high points that are going to catch most of the dirt, and as she explains, she's kind of shoving it underneath the seams where the dirt's going to collect and not easily be cleaned
Be
off.
jostled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend look up her channel. And I'm going to jump back here real quick. Boop. She also has a another video where she makes a tea holster or a teacup holster,
So she's a tea duelist.
and she makes it out of an old purse, which is
Hey.
also easy to find at the thrift store.
Yeah, it's not like there's a million of those there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. If for anybody looking to get into that tea dueling action and want some suggestions or a little example of how you can make your own tea dueling holster set
Nice.
for the club we're all going to join.
Yeah.
Right. I've had people talk to me about how steampunk is really expensive, and I'm like, you can do it for really cheap if you just go thrifting. Like,
And it's better. Just put
Yeah.
the time in.
Yeah.
Why buy something you want kinda for $10 when you can spend $105 finding out all the little pieces, finding the right paint for it, and all the accoutrements you want to put on it, and have exactly what you wanted with 100 more hours involved.
I didn't want to say anything last episode where we talked about pouches and belts. But yeah, you can make it as expensive as you want, and you can get the highest quality handmade craftsman gigas and stuff if that's the thing you really want. But you don't have to.
yeah, you don't have to.
You can make it yourself and make it exactly the way you want.
And then it is very. Then it's very originally you, and like I like Natalie so much because I did put so much work into her that's me. Like that's
It's the same as Jack. I may go as any of the reasons I might be being put into prison over here. I actually have yet to impersonate the clergy, but I really do want to go as Father Jack one time, or a nun. Either one, maybe both. I don't know. It's still one of those things I want to do.
I vote none.
Yeah, everyone votes nun. I like this idea. Okay, we'll make this happen. I need a nun outfit now. No, the beard. None with the beard.
We have a lot of them in October.
I gotta be a flying nun. Apparently, I'm being told.
No, I just asked, are you going to be a flying?
Oh, am I gonna be a flying nun? I don't know. These are questions we must venture forth into.
That reminds me of a movie. It came out back in I don't know, 1990.
Probably. I think that's what
There's
she's
Idol in it?
referencing.
So a couple of British actors play these two guys who are wanted criminals and have to hide out dressed as nuns. And you got Monty Python in there.
Oh yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
So go look that up. It's called Nuns on the Run.
Nuns on the Run.
I haven't seen that movie in decades. I'm gonna go look that up.
I do actually have some homework. I'm gonna come in right on the right at the 11th hour on this one.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Something we talked about last time, but since last time didn't work out, we had we were in jail, and
I don't know what you're talking about. Please tell me this thing.
The audio wasn't working. Well, let me share my screen real quick. That button, and then that one. So, medieval blacksmiths are helping the Ukrainian effort. Basically, a bunch of most people don't realize this, but most fighting armor of the period in like the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s armor is actually made in Ukraine. Well, they've all been streaming as they have been like making other things, like these wonderful anti-tank roadblocks. And they were also streaming recently. I found another more recent one somewhere where I think it probably got taken down because it's exactly how to make those cool Molotov cocktails they're making now, like you found earlier, Thax. And that one's a little too probably a little too good for most of the internet to be able to access. But I don't know. I just find it hilarious how people who have these wonderful skills at making things from literally 400 years ago have just gone straight into essentially wartime effort, defending their own country their way. Like, we need to keep tanks from coming across this. I know how to fix that. And they're pulling out anti-tank guards. I don't have another picture. I can't find it right off. The big X's that you'd see sitting in the water and whatnot on like D-Day. They pulled them out of museums with the plaques on them saying which museums they were pulled from so they can replace them later. And they can put them back in the museum with another tagline on there saying they were also used in the defense of this nation at this time period as well. So like a lot of museum pieces are being pulled out in the defense of their nation as well. Like, you don't see that. We've never run into this before. This is new. Usually technology has progressed so far beyond, or is such a lightning quick, or it's such an encompassing engagement that this wouldn't make enough difference. But here we are, put into a position where, I don't know. It just, to me, I find it fascinating.
It's pretty inspiring. Yeah.
And the fact you can watch these guys yelling about things and cursing at like 3 a.m. on your on their stream for you in the daytime, as they're like welding and then talking jovially with you guys about everything that's going on and being very honest with you. And it's like, because there's no other real, there's so much interconnected news these days. You gonna take a shot for him?
With that, I'm having another drink. Yeah. Times like these, it's explain why my wife is really enjoying this. Glory to Ukraine.
Glory to Ukraine.
So I ordered something for my boyfriend that I didn't realize was coming from Ukraine.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and they sent me a message and they're like, "Hey, just to let you know, Putin is invading our land, and we can't get to our factory right now, or our shop right now, so we can't get you your thing, and we also can't get to our bank right now, so I can't send you back your money." And I was like, "Keep the money. If I never get this thing, I do not care. Like, keep it." I got a message a week ago, and they're like, "Hey, we can get back to the post office now, but it's gonna go through Poland first." And I'm like, "Okay." So,
It's like, I don't really care about this item anymore, except the historical ramification, like the fact of the story that goes with this item now. You're gonna have like the correspondence printed on paper and like tea stain it now and like hang it up with the item.
they were. I was like, as soon as I learned it was from Ukraine, and I was like, "Oh no." And I didn't expect them to say anything to me, but they did. And I was like, "Thank you for being honest. And I support you. Like, here's my money." Just dang it.
One of the other cool things I've seen happen with that kind of thing in mind is that a lot of people are renting out Airbnb homes with no intent of going and staying in them, of course. Yeah. But because they're housing refugees from other parts of their own nation, but you're paying the people who own the homes to help keep that perpetuating. Yep. And it's like $14 a night. Like, yeah. When all this is done and said, I kind of want to go travel through Ukraine just to enjoy being in Ukraine. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see what's left of it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, those wonderful Turkish drones are doing some fantastic devastation to the Russian military. So,
and the farmers just picking up tanks with their tractors
and literally rolling up on a tank regiment, going, "Hey, you've run out of gasoline. Need me to tow you home?"
Yep.
We talked about You didn't get to see us on our show last 2 weeks ago where we talked about getting money to Ukrainians. It didn't even occur to me that they wouldn't be able to get to their bank.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin.
Crap.
Bitcoin wallets have been what they've been using.
Yeah.
because even though your bank is closed, you can still get online with your bank if the servers aren't down. So they're transferring their money out of their bank accounts into Bitcoin wallets. They don't even have to convert it to Bitcoin. They can just put it in the wallet. Then they get to Poland and they can dump their money over into a new bank. And so there's one kind of cool thing that's being used for having a decentralized monetary currency.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers is currently in Hungary because that's where she's from, and we were like, she was supposed to come back in March, and she's like, nope, I'm gonna stay longer because I want everything to blow over first. I was like, okay. Cool. So we were hoping to have her back by May, but we don't know. So, but she's safe and she's good. So, but Hungary's pretty close.
Hungary is very close.
Yeah.
Well, it's about that time. So I want to take a couple of minutes here to thank all our patrons on Patreon who are helping us out to pay the bills that are keeping our podcast up and available. So thank you to the Dowager Duchess Claire Bear, Jenny and Ryan Shaver, Kitty Vinson, and Rita and Lawrence Allen, who have been watching and commenting tonight. So thank you for tuning in, Rita and Lawrence. If you didn't already know, we're on Facebook at Texas Steampunk Connection, which we're streaming from right now, but you might be listening to this later. You can email us at texassteampunkconnection@gmail.com or listen to our podcast at texassteampunkconnection.podbean.com. We're on Twitter at TX Steampunk Connect. No, let me get that right. At TX Steam Connect 1. Because that was what was available. And we're on YouTube and now Rumble through Steam Chest subscription box. So thanks, Jack, for posting us over there.
You're welcome. And the moment that I get it all figured out, and if Facebook kicks us off again, we will be going through pirate radio through Steam Chest YouTube onto Facebook or something. We'll figure that out.
Yar.
Yar.
And the opening music, and maybe the music you're listening to now, is from Zapsplat.com. So thanks, Zapsplat, for letting us steal your music. Do you have, either of you have anything else to add that you'd like people to know before we end the podcast tonight?
The mirror elf.
Nope, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right.
I updated on what I need.
Everybody for joining in and being patient with us when we weren't able to show up last 2 weeks ago. But we did our best, and we will be back in another 2 weeks on Tuesday night. We look forward to talking and seeing you again then. Until then, mind your gauges.
Mind your gauges.
Mind your gauges.